So the place of prayer is the place of direction. This is why we cannot afford to play with our prayer altar. Because to play with the prayer altar is to be misdirected in the adventure of life. Now listen, the Bible says that there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end of it are the ways of death. One way, it looks right, but inside it are many destructions. There is a way that seems right. Proverbs 14 and verse 12. But the end of it are the ways of death. It is repeated in Proverbs 16 and verse 25. There is a way that seems right, but inside of it, there are diverse ways of death or of destruction. So that means that it looks right does not make it right. There are so many people that have damaged destiny by what looked like opportunity. Is somebody getting what God is saying? So we have to come to realize and to recognize that when it comes to our adventure in life, we are not to live by calculation. We are not to live by assumptions. We are not to live by permutations. We are to live by direction. And to gain access to direction, we have a responsibility to engage on the altar of prayer. Those who don't ask God questions don't qualify for answers. This is why if we are going to gain access to direction, we must be committed on the altar of prayer. Years ago, I was with God's servant, my father, Bishop Oyedepo. We were away for some days. And he would come out in the morning and say, the Lord said this. In the afternoon, the Lord said this. In the evening, the Lord said this. The next morning again, the Lord said this. So one of the days, I just became very concerned. I went back to my room. I said, Lord, why are you talking to him all the time? In the morning, he said, you just said this. Afternoon, we are still struggling to hear the first one, the second one. Why is it that he's coming and he's saying, the Lord said this, the Lord said that? I was agitated in my spirit. Why do you talk to some people more than others? He gave me a simple answer we never forget. He said, because he asked me questions. Many of us just go by assumption. We don't ask questions. We don't ask questions. Even who to marry. I just like this girl. You just marry her. You forgot to ask God a question. You forgot to ask. You see, direction comes to those who seek it. And in the life of Jesus, we saw that the altar of prayer was the altar of direction. This year, you will live by precision. Your life will not be confused this year.